Hello, everyone.
Hello again.
Hello.
Hello.
And
Welcome to another episode of...
This is the Circle Podcast.
My name is James.
It is your host, Philip.
my name is Daniel.
Like always, I'm here with my best friends.
All right, so today will be a pretty fun episode.
I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, goodbye.
Goodbye, party people.
See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Circle Podcast. My name is Philip. It's good to see you here. If you're on YouTube, thank you for being here. If you're listening to us through whatever podcasting app you listen to us from, thank you. We appreciate you. I'm gathered here with my two very best friends in the whole wide world. If they want to introduce themselves.
Hello, world. My name is James. Welcome back. Shouts out India. Thank you all those who listen. I feel like lately we've been more in contact with people who listen to us.
Really?
Yeah, you wouldn't say so? Like people we know personally that like we went to high school with. And
I was going to say, like, I don't know what instance you're talking about here. Cause
in India.
I'm blanking.
Oh, no, not just India. Well, like when you guys went to the bars and like ran into people.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
There's been a couple people I've talked to messaging that are like, yeah, I listen to your podcast. I'm like, that's crazy. Don't judge what we say. I just want to put that out there. Just now that it's becoming more apparent that people I know are listening to this, you're going to hear some stupid shit on here. So,
Fuck those people.
Without a doubt.
Just kidding.
take what you hear with a grain of
It
salt.
mainly comes from me.
That's my intro. Circle Pod, Instagram, TikTok, Circle Podcast, YouTube. Be there, be square. All right.
Yes, good morning, America. And welcome to the Circle Podcast. I'm Andrew, one of your hosts. And enjoy.
All right. Thank you for that, Andy.
You're welcome.
Great intro.
If you don't mind, Andy, I'm going to go first today. So I gave these guys the homework or the task to watch a very good movie that came out recently but has been a Broadway show for a very long time, and that is In the Heights. It finally got a movie adaptation. I would say that's mainly because of the success that Hamilton did. But before we dive into that, oh wait, I don't want to jump in the segment yet. I gotta tell you about these fucking dreams I had last night, bro.
Oh, let's hear it.
All right, so I am a normal melatonin taker, right? Because at night my brain does not want to shut off, so I need something to help me get there.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran out of melatonin probably like 2 weeks ago. So I've been fucking like cut cold turkey, you know what I mean? Like that shit was not in me at all. And then when I was taking it 2 weeks ago, I had like the 5 milligram ones, so they weren't as strong. I'm a 10 milligram kind of guy, you know what I mean? I bought the 10 milligram, and I shouldn't have taken, I think the serving size is like 2, right?
So 20?
I should not have taken 2. I should not have taken 2.
Oh, shit.
Because my dreams were extreme and vivid. Right? So the first dream, this is also partly why I love melatonin, because I get to really have these dreams that I just know my brain is active, when I'm asleep, and I can remember them easily. Right? So the first dream, I was like in an audience, but it wasn't like an audience. It was like for like a stunt show, but like a movie or like a show that's actually on television, like being recorded, right? I'm off to the side from the stage, but I'm at a round table with other people, right? And the main host, comes out, does their performance, whatever, goes on commercial, right? And then they come over to me. They're all talking to the whole table. And then it's a female host, by the way. And she comes up to me. She's like, oh, why don't you go backstage and, you can hang out with us later. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, cool, So I go backstage, and all the workers are, like, looking at me weird, right? And I'm getting, like, this weird vibe. I'm like, I was invited back here. Like, why are they all looking at me like this, And, like, no one wanted to talk to me, and, like, no one was, like, coming up to me. And then the host comes back, and she, like, tells one of the workers, like, hey, help that guy back to my room or whatever. And then, like, the worker's, like, walking me to the door where the security guard is. And then the worker just whispers to me. They're just like, hit me. I'm like, what? And then they literally grab my arm and like make me punch them in the face. And then the security guard just like, so the worker's back is facing him. So all they see is like my arm go across and hit the person in the face. So, you know, it looks like I actually hit them. So the security guard like rushes me out, you know, or says like, oh, you're fucking out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I leave, and then like the host finds me, you know, and then like it's just this big ordeal where like they're trying to like get me to go back and like this and that. And then finally I'm outside and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You know, like there's 2 other people with me. I can't remember who it was, but like the host was like following me, you know, we were like going different places with them. And at some point we end up at like a hospital, right?
Okay.
Fucking weird dream. We're there, and then I'm slowly finding out from people that work with the host is that like this is a normal thing that she does, that she finds people in the audience and she has them go back to their room, and she has one of their workers kill the person that she chooses. So the worker having me punch her
Trying
across
to save you?
trying to save me. Yeah.
Okay.
So I realized this. I'm like, dude, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like this person's trying to kill me, you know? So this is towards the end of the dream, right? So I'm like looking for a cop, and I'm like, someone call the fucking cops, you know? Like this person's trying to kill me. No one had a phone, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go find a cop. You know, I'm like, you know, I'm at a hospital. Sometimes there's cops around hospitals, right? So I start booking it for like the front of the hospital because I'm in like the back, and I just hear like a yell, and then I turn around, and this bitch, I swear to God, is running like perfect stride straight at me, staring at me. And then as soon as she gets like up in my face, I wake up. I wake up like fucking sweating, bro. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I'm like, where did this come from, you know? I was just, oh man, it was bad. It was like the movie Get Out. Remember that scene where the dude's just fucking running? And
Oh, yeah, just hard fucking.
She doesn't cut. She's just like straight like coming at me. And I just scream like, someone help me, you know? And then she's in my face, and then boom, I wake up. I'm like, what the fuck just happened,
Dude.
I was like, where did that come from? I'm like, I'm gonna stay up for a few minutes because I do not want to jump back into this dream and continue this, right? So that happened, and then I had another dream.
Oh no.
Where I'm on some like docks, and it's like construction work going on, and there's this massive fucking crane, like the kind of crane. It's called Big Red. It's the one that they built the Ram Stadium with. Massive crane, right?
Okay.
I'm there, and I'm walking back. I think I was on break or something, and I'm walking back to the place that I'm working, and this crane is lifting like, it looked like a factory that was attached all together. It was massive, and it should not have been lifting it, right? And then as I'm walking by, I can just see it starting to lift it, and then I hear, as I pass this area, I hear a loud like creaking and a loud bang, and then sure enough, the thing I could just see it. And it just drops. Like, it drops a little factory, right? So, of course, I'm going to be like, what the fuck? So I ran back. And then, sure enough, it was, like, the area that I had just walked by. You know what I mean? And then there's, like, 2 of my buddies that... Not, like, buddies I actually work with, but, like, buddies in my dream that I was working with. And they're just fucking, like, dead. Just squished.
Damn, bro.
And I was just like...
Like Wizard of Oz status? Like, feet hanging out?
Yeah. Well, one of them died. And then the other dude, like... The other dude, like, survived by, like, inches. You know what I mean? Just, like, he just, like, snapped out of it. He's like, what the fuck just happened? And then he sees, you know, our buddy there dead. And I was just like, dude, I was just here. You know what I mean? Like, I was just tripping.
Why even have so many dreams about you dying, dude? Or almost dying?
I don't know.
Those are all of my nightmares. It's like
Is you dying?
Somehow. It's weird.
Yeah?
Weird.
Yeah, then I
hate
woke
it.
up.
Dang.
What if you still haven't, though? What if this is a dream? Don't tell him.
It's better than the dreams I had last night. But yeah, man, that was my night last night. And honestly,
Sounds fun.
they were terrifying.
Oh.
But I'm glad I had them, you know, like they were worth remembering. And, you know, I'm still going to take melatonin tonight.
Shit, man.
To go to sleep. I mean,
That's funny. I had a weird dream this past week too. That was like pretty long, but I'm not gonna retell it. But it was weird. It was a weird dream. It was like it had a lot of like post-apocalyptic vibes. You know.
Those
Why
are
don't you
always
wanna
fun.
tell
Yeah. Huh?
Why don't you want to tell?
It was just long. It was a
Oh.
long dream. A lot of random shit. The gist of it though is that it was like pretty kind of like an alien invasion, but where like people were being like taken over type of thing. So it's almost like the aliens were like parasites and like taking the people over. And so like in my dream, it was like dealing with that, but then also like the people in charge. I don't know if it was the government or what. They were just like killing people on sight if they suspected that you were like an alien. So like that was the dream, was just like being like, oh fuck, these aliens here, and then like, okay, I gotta make sure not to act like I'm an alien even though I know I'm not.
Yeah.
Or they're just gonna fucking blast me.
Yeah.
Like District 19.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that, but
No.
Oh, that's a
I think I
great
know
movie.
about it.
It's not on
kinda.
that. Well, it's kind of like that.
It's just
They
like
get infected.
It's like
In
a
a way,
ghetto.
yeah.
It's
but
like
they
a
keep
ghetto
them-
with
they keep them
aliens,
away.
right?
They keep the aliens in like their
Yeah.
own like section.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
I'm
I've seen
pissed that they
scenes.
didn't do a second movie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Interesting.
Do you guys have segments for this week?
I do not.
I do not have a segment. I ran out of websites. I could not find any more that
Yeah,
I
you're gonna-
haven't already done.
You're
so.
gonna need a new segment, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would have thought you would eventually
I'm
run
trying
out
to
of?
think of something. I really like your book idea, your book segment, but I don't want to take it.
Dude, you could. I mean, I haven't read my book in like 3 weeks.
Honestly, like one idea, just because of like you telling your dream was kind of cool. Like
Uh-huh.
that would be a pretty cool segment.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
like
telling.
if someone keeps a dream journal. I don't know. I
I-
like my segment, but like fuck, that would be fun to do too. Just keep like a dream journal and. talk about the
I am
craziest
no
dream you
good
had.
at dream journals. Like I couldn't do that.
I used to. I did it for like a month straight one time.
Yeah, I did it for.
You
a
should
solid
try
amount
that,
of time,
dude.
Too.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
That would be cool. Because I was totally like, I was like into that story, man. I'm like, what's gonna happen
Yeah,
next?
dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I didn't tell it as good as I dreamt it. But that first one, phew, that first one was a tough one. It
It'd
was
be
a
so
doozy.
Thing.
It'd be so cool at one point, like, I don't know, to be able to make a segment where you could record your dreams and then show them.
Like like
Yeah,
videos.
if we had that technology,
Mm.
Yeah.
that'd be so dope.
One day, my friend.
I did have something prepared for last week, but then we jumped right into the trivia. But it's probably like kind of outdated now. Yeah, I just don't. I'll have something next week. I don't have a segment this week.
All right. Well, I got something. It's not my normal segment, but it's something that pissed me off, and I wanted to share it with you guys in the world so we can all get mad together.
Let's hear it.
One thing I preach a lot on this show is how terrible our education system is,
Okay.
and
Facts.
you know how little community we have here in California, which
Yeah.
I think will touch into the movie that we watched. Is there some stuff to drink in there?
Get some Jesus juice in me.
Can I get one?
Can I get some Jesus juice?
I don't even know if there is. I'll just try this.
This whole time I thought we didn't have anything. But I read this today. Jordan B. Peterson tweeted it out on his Twitter.
Sir.
And the headline is, this is from cbc.california or CA. In Vancouver, school board cuts honors programs. School board says honors programs create inequities between students.
Oh, I think I heard about this.
So if I could read this real quick to you guys, I'm just going to read the first couple paragraphs. The Vancouver School Board is cutting honors programs for secondary school students effective this fall. Honors Math and Science will be cut, and Honors English has already been discontinued. Eric Hamber Secondary and Maggie Secondary are the last two schools to offer Honors Math and Science. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Just
As conversations about canceling honors programs began more than 5 years ago. In an emailed statement to CBC News, a school board spokesperson said honors courses create inequities for students. This is quotes, by phasing out these courses, all students will have access to an inclusive model of education, and all students will be able to participate in curriculum full solemnly. the statement reads, and I'm gonna end it there because it just goes into like people's personal opinions.
So stupid.
And I read that and I got fucking mad
Yeah, that's really frustrating.
because
that irked me.
because one,
Who are
We're-
you hurting?
exactly, right? So you're saying it creates inequity between students, but I don't believe we should this is of all society. We should not be moving towards a system that favors equal outcome. It should be
Right.
moving towards equal opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Those students that are in normal classes have the same opportunity to be in those honors classes as those kids that are there.
Yeah, and I think like I understand, because I know a lot of talk right now about equity is that not everyone has the same access to opportunity, right?
Mhm.
Which I understand that. And I understand that some people in life are going to need more help than others. That's just how it is. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But if you want to make something stronger, you learn this in sports. You learn this on any type of team environment. And it's that analogy of you're only as strong as the weakest link, right? Or if you want to make a team better, you build it up from the bottom. You know what I mean? You don't cut from the top in order to make the bottom closer to the top, if that makes sense, in terms of like performance, education, whatever have you. Like, I don't know. This is just definitely not the right way to do it. I feel like if you want equity between people, and especially those who are less fortunate, those who have less access to opportunities, to education, then give them more access to it. Give them more tools, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone needs a little more help. But why are you going to like... It just seems so backwards. Instead of canceling all these like advanced classes for students who really care, students who like really apply themselves when it comes to that, instead of canceling those, why not just provide more support to those who are struggling? Why can't we do that? It's like the whole like No Child Left Behind thing with George Bush, you know, like the harsh reality is that, and we know this, some people just don't care about school, right? That doesn't mean
I was
anything
one of
less
them.
of you. Well, yeah.
I wasn't one of them. I was
Yeah.
one of them. I did not care about school.
And that's just the reality of it. You know what I mean? Like, and it doesn't mean, and that doesn't mean that they're less valuable as a person. That doesn't mean they contribute less to society, right? But to say like these people who that is their thing, that is what they care about school, they shouldn't have these opportunities because others aren't, like, I don't know. To me, it's just, I don't know. I'll just leave it there because I might start saying stuff that's going to be taken wrong. But just like bring the bottom up. Don't cut the top down, I guess.
There's a great picture depiction. There's a great picture that I saw that someone tweeted about this article that said equity in reality, right? So it shows...
Is it like the fence? And you're looking
Yeah,
over
it
the
shows
fence? Yeah.
a baseball game and 3 people are trying to look over it. It's a little person and then someone who's a little bit taller than a guy that can look over the fence, right?
Mm-hmm.
In reality, you know, the guy in the middle gets 1 box to be able to see over and the little person gets 2 boxes to then be able to see over. But
So
equity...
That's equity.
Yeah, equity in reality, or that was equity in theory, and then equity in reality is just chopping the tall guy and the middle guy's legs off, and then, you know,
Mhm.
it's a great depiction of what this actually is right now. You know,
Yeah.
you're hurting future generations. You know,
Mhm.
it's ridiculous.
And I think what sucks too is like, because this is in Canada, right?
I believe so.
I think this was in Canada, from what I remember. Hopefully Philip can confirm that.
I think it was British Columbia.
I think that's in Canada.
I think that's in Canada,
Yeah.
right?
BC.
What's, if I were to think of that like here, think of that in our country, specifically like in Southern California.
Yeah, British Columbia.
Okay. Education is an out for people. Education is an out for like like that's a measure of success for, like especially for like immigrants, you know what I mean? Like
Definitely.
the fact that my mom was able to go to college was a success story for my immigrant grandparents, you know what I mean? That was her like making it. That was her like not having to do manual labor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And those classes help those minority groups, quote unquote, make it out. You know what I mean? It gives them a path. Of course, not everyone's going to go the education path, but it gives them that option. You know what I mean? And the harsh reality is like, that's what can set you apart for college. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like, yeah, it seems like it's going to bring a lot more harm than good.
Yeah.
I think equal opportunity is great. I don't think we're all equal. Right? I think
No.
No, we're not all
we're not
born
all
equal.
Yeah, I think that's the bottom line of it, is that there are some people that are smarter than other people, and they will take classes that need these honors classes. You know what I mean, to be able to get the full extent
Or
of,
stand out from
of
other
their
people.
education. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, and that's just what it is. Like these people, you know, that's just how they are. They're just
Who
smart.
they are,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's gonna hurt them. Yeah, like it's they're not gonna be able to get the education that they need. You know, because they want to make it, you know, exclusive, or not. They want to take it out completely.
Well, another thing too, like again, I don't know how Canada's education system works, but for here, if you're taking like AP classes, you're earning college credits.
Yeah.
And for a lot of like people who are lower, like who are in poverty, pretty much, like that's a way for them to get a college degree, but in an affordable way, because those AP classes are a lot cheaper than actually getting those credits in college.
Yeah.
So again, I don't know how Canada works in terms of that. I don't know if they have free education, so maybe that won't matter to them. But if that were something applied here, like that's gonna hurt people who
Yeah.
need that type of help.
The funny thing about it too is it's probably going to create more inequity, putting much smarter children in these regular classes. You know what I mean? With these kids.
Yeah, they're gonna fuck up the curve.
Yeah, maybe, you know, or like
what's
these
to
kids
stop-
that are in these normal classes are just going to see like they can't compete with these kids, you know,
Yeah.
like they're obviously smarter, or they're obviously going to get more attention from their teachers because they're the better students.
Or those that have the means to do so, they'll just be like, okay, like you're not gonna have academic success here, so you're gonna go to private school. You know what I mean? And the people who can't afford that, they're gonna be left behind.
Yeah.
Like you can't take honors classes, but you're too poor to go to private school. Sorry.
Yeah. It's upsetting too, because there's statistics proving that like when we have systems in place where it doesn't matter what place you come in, you know, everyone gets a trophy. The kids that know that they shouldn't be getting a trophy just like feel worse about getting a trophy in the first place, and those that come in first place get their award, but it's
like invalidated.
It's devalued because everyone's getting an award, you know. So it's a damaging system to have.
Yeah.
When there needs to be a winner. It's a shit thing to have, but you know, there has to be some level of competition.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know it's in Canada, but
Human nature.
still, like the Western countries still lead by example a lot when it comes
I
to the
think
rest of the world.
It's not too far off of something that could happen here.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And you know, our education system isn't great.
Yeah, it's already fucked. I don't know. That's why, like, I want to have the means for my kid to have private education. And I know a lot of people feel strongly about that, but public school is kind of a joke sometimes.
Yeah.
You know? They don't have the same resources. They don't have the same access to opportunities. Like, I don't know.
I want to create the means to create change. If there's one thing that I think is my calling, that I feel passionate about, is that I want the education system to change. So I want to start talking to teachers. I want to start talking to people on school boards, and I want to figure out what they want to see and what is the problem. And I want to create a movement
To fix that.
to eventually change shit. I want to start small, get to the governor's office, and then straight to like national level. Because this is frustrating, man, and no one's
Yeah.
talking about it.
I'm just not that optimistic about it. I feel like unless they figure out how to make profit off of public schools doing better, like I don't know. It's ass.
Yeah. But
Agreed.
that's one thing I want to start doing. Thank you
Respect
for
that,
joining
man.
me on what pisses me off today.
This is what grinds my gears.
Yeah. On a much lighter note.
You know what grinds my gears?
Oreo.
You, America.
You
Fuck
grind my
you.
gears.
On a
Thank you,
much
San
lighter
Diego,
note.
and go fuck yourself.
On a much lighter note, like I said, I gave these guys the homework of watching In the Heights.
In the Heights.
It's a great movie.
What?
And the one thing for a long time, I couldn't admit to anyone just because like I felt like I was going to be judged, is I love musical theater. I love, I love musicals. I love live acting. I love improv. Like, these are just things that I love, but I never admitted to just because, as a young man growing up, those aren't the things you admit.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older and I don't give a fuck about people's opinions, those are the things I love.
Don't say that around my dad, dude.
I don't give a
Fucking
shit.
roast.
I don't give a shit. You know what? I'm going to tell him next time I see him because
Alright,
it's probably
tell
going
him.
to be like fucking 30 years from now.
Yeah, probably.
I haven't seen that guy in like forever.
See him at his funeral.
Hey, he's still gonna wake up. But yeah, we watched In the Heights. And I gotta say, I love that movie because, for me personally, like I said earlier, California doesn't have a sense of community to me, and that movie I feel like just fucking depicts what community is perfectly.
I feel.
I just wanted to get your guys' opinion.
I think it depends.
I think California does have community. I just think
You have to be in the right area.
you know what I mean. And a lot of the community is in lower income places, honestly. Because they're all on the same shit together.
I think that's what it is. Like, I feel like I was hanging out with someone who like grew up in LA, and we were actually talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just the suburbs. I think it's like the Southern California suburbs is just like, yeah, you don't really find that. Like everyone's on their fucking, I don't know, Orange County housewives
Yeah, they're just
shit.
in their own world,
They're in their
you know?
own world. They think they're the most important thing. But talking to people who like grew up in South Central their whole life, like they do have that. They're like, no, yeah, I've known everybody on this block like my whole life. Like I've known, these people. They're the ones who like raised me. They're the ones who were like watching me while my mom was like at work or whatever.
Yeah, it's a lot
And
of
it's
people.
it's what you said though.
yeah.
It's the struggle. Like that's what fucking binds people together. And you see that in the Heights.
Mhm.
They're all on that same like struggle of just trying to get by, trying to live a better life. You see parents trying to give their kids a better life.
Yeah.
That's why it's a big thing though. Like a lot of people don't make it out, right? Like this is the reason why they've known their neighbors and their kids and their grandkids. You know what I mean? It's because a lot of people just don't have the opportunity to make it out of just a place like that.
Yeah.
But even in the movie, you see, I thought it was cool that you got to see like different perspectives. Like you had someone who wanted to come back from college
Mm-hmm.
because she felt like there was no community there.
Mm-hmm.
But you also had another person who wanted to get the fuck out of there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And go to like the city, go downtown.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. But they ended up, well, one of them left. But they ended up staying anyway. They ended up realizing that the community is like what matters to them. Like this is my home.
Yeah. Well, even
Which
then,
is-
you had Usnavi who decided to leave his shop there, keep the shop
Yeah.
open, and then you had the like nail shop that did move.
Yeah.
So you still see both sides of that too.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like though, like we didn't grow up with that,
No.
right? Like we,
Dude, just like how he left just now when homeboy was fucking looking at us like he was pissed off because I was looking at his dog.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, bro,
Uh,
like, what are you so mad about? You know what I mean? I'm just checking out your dog.
Yeah.
You know? Like, we can't be neighborly. Or,
Hey.
Like, why is it weird that if I walk
out of
outside and say good morning to you, it's a problem? You know what I mean? I'm looked at weird.
Yeah.
Why?
People.
What is with that?
People just have a chip on their
That's
shoulder.
what I mean, man. I think it's just like people in this county are just very like stuck up.
Yeah, I agree.
Very stuck up.
I agree. 100%.
I don't know.
Listen, my last job, I don't know. I feel like number one, it was a very personable job. I had to get to know a lot of people. But the people that I met were like nice. People that I met weren't like people that I would
hang out with.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
like have a good conversation with, or
Mhm.
they were just people that I wanted to be like, oh, hi and bye. Like I don't know. I could just see what kind of person they were, and it was like not. It was not like attractive, to like get to know someone.
Yeah.
But I feel like in that movie, everyone knows everybody,
Mhm.
and it's because they're not pieces of shit. They're not like they don't feel like they're entitled to anything. They're just going through the fucking struggle together, and you know what I mean. That's like the glue that binds everyone. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the one thing I loved about that movie. I mean, there's multitudes of things, and I'm not saying that this inspires me to move to New York, because God forbid I do not want to move to New York. I will move back to
Nueva York.
I would go to Buffalo for sure,
But not New York
or
City.
the East Coast. Fuck no. I mean, I know there's even here in LA, there's a statistic like a larger group of people does not mean you're happier. Like you are actually far
New York
more
is-
depressed.
New York is the unhappiest city.
Yeah.
You think
in the
so?
United States, yeah. No, it is.
No, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally everyone there has dreams, but they know they can't reach them.
Dude, I gotta show you guys this study I found. This is completely unrelated, but it had to do with life expectancies. We could talk about it after, but it was very like backwards. Like you would think that like if you lived in like LA or like New York, your life expectancy would be lower, but it's actually like way higher than elsewhere in the country. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting because I know somewhere in the Midwest,
That's
like
because you're
Oklahoma or something, had the lowest life expectancy.
That's because you're trying to fucking find the fountain of youth, dude, and you're just trying to live to that 300 age.
Yeah,
That's
I
why.
guess so. But no, it's. I don't know. It was very backwards. I wouldn't think that. I would think like, man, if you live in New York, you're gonna make it to like 60 max. But no, it was actually the opposite. Anyways,
It's interesting.
back to In the Heights. It was good. I, unlike Phil, I am not a big musical person. And that said, I dedicated a lot of my life to music, but I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Like, I can only take it in small doses. So like even like with this movie, even though I liked it, it was definitely the best musical film that I've seen so far. I still had to watch it in like two halves. Like I got an hour in, then I went and did other stuff, took a nap, and then came back and finished it. I don't know why. I think there's just something that I just don't get. That's what it has to be. There's just something I don't get.
Yeah,
I just yeah.
I'm right there with you. It was definitely hard to get through.
But then again, I want to say that's just me on the genre. It's not on the film. Like, yeah. So don't
All right, you hate it, dude. We get it.
No, I definitely didn't hate it. I definitely didn't hate it. It was cool. It was cool movie. Well, I was telling Philip, I actually saw it on Broadway back in like
I'm jealous, man.
2009. Yeah, it was cool. Corbin Bleu, he was the lead. He was Usnavi when I saw it. I have a picture somewhere of him after because he came out the little side and like was signing autographs and stuff.
No shit.
Yeah. My one and only Broadway show, In the Heights. So I definitely enjoy the show for what it is. Yeah. Like Grease, I can't fucking stand Grease. I don't know how people like Grease so much.
I grew up with Grease, dude.
Dude, how do you? It's so bad. It's so bad. Oh my god,
multiplying.
it's
that
the
a musical?
cringiest thing. It's a bunch of
Yeah.
40-year-olds trying to pass as high schoolers.
Come on.
It's so cringy.
Fucking what's his name wasn't that old.
John Travolta,
Yeah.
he wasn't that old, but the rest of the cast was. This is what's weird, man. I think this is the thing. Like even with In the Heights,
Uh-huh.
it was good. It was a good, good movie, good musical.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why there's always just there's just too much cringe in musicals
Mm.
that I feel. I don't know why, but just watching them, I feel like a little bit of cringe.
Oh yeah, when they.
It's because you grew up when like High School Musical came out, and it was fucking wrong for you to watch that shit.
Maybe
even though like
maybe
the
that
music
ruined,
was good.
Maybe that ruined it for me.
Yeah,
But,
you
like-
couldn't admit that you liked that shit, but now if you're older and you go back to it, you're like, oh yeah, this was actually pretty good.
I never liked that shit.
Oh man, see, because you'd be judged.
I've never.
No, it's just like it's not my.
I've
I
never
watched
seen
the
it.
first one. That was it. I didn't watch how many other ones came out after that.
I've never seen.
I think
any
4.
of them.
There was 4. See, I watched the first one. I'm like, yeah, this is not for me.
I think I got the 3.
What's
I
his
don't
name?
know. It's just like the whole sing talk, and then like
dude. Yeah, I think that's why
part. A lot of the
hard.
music's kind of corny.
It's hard to. It was
musicals.
hard to get through it because of that. The sing talking is like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
You know, it's just weird. It's
Yeah.
just.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
What's wrong with me?
I'm also on the same page. It's not that I don't. People like them, whatever. That's cool.
I would like to point out too, it's not just musicals either. Like I feel that way about like most dancing as well. Like
Dancing?
Yeah. So like those videos that people make with like new songs and it's like a whole like dance group and they're like doing their whole routine.
Really, that makes you cringe?
Yeah, it kind of makes me
Oh.
cringe. I don't know
Really?
why. I don't know why.
Dude,
Doesn't
most
make
of the
me cringe.
dancing in this movie makes me want to learn how to dance, like really
Mm.
dance.
Like that's the thing though. Like Latin dancing's different, and I think it's because I grew up with it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But like, I don't know, man. Like even like watching like what's that really famous like breakdance group with
Jabberwockies?
The Jabberwockies. Even them, like it's just kind of cringe. I don't know,
Really?
because they're just like, I don't know, like I don't know why that's weird to me. Like, dang, you're just like moving your body, all right? Like,
Dude, I love. I don't know. I great dance or like.
like you'll go out of your way to watch it.
No, I won't like watch it. In
I
Broadway.
always watch the Jabberwockies when I
I
go to
won't watch it
Universal.
like I won't watch it
Really?
as a show,
Yeah.
but like if I don't know, if there's a good dance like a girl. If a girl's a good dancer, I think that's attractive. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I agree.
But okay, I've been to Universal Studios too many times to count. Never seen the Jabberwocky show.
Oh man.
No, not. I don't know. But again, like Latin dancing is fine. But another thing that makes me cringe that has to do with dancing, like this is why I hate clubs. Cause like you like what are you supposed to do as a guy in a club? Yeah, just like the hold your drink and head bob. Like what the like
This is a good song.
yeah, or like the whole like you guys are just jumping. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I
that's-
don't
yeah, I
know.
feel that,
I don't know, man. I just don't get it.
That's why I don't like going.
I've
to
accepted
clubs.
that with myself.
I
I,
don't
just
like-
don't get it.
I don't like clubs to begin with, but I don't like going to clubs alone,
Mm.
like just by myself. I like going with someone, and I could just like.
Well, if you go alone, that's just sad.
Well, not alone. I mean, like without.
Oh,
a
like
date.
without a date.
Without
Okay.
a date. Yeah.
See, I think what it is like growing up in middle school, we would go to these dances, right?
Uh-huh.
And a lot of stuff was going down,
Uh-huh.
And normally when you're dancing, it's like you're bumping and grinding, You're bumping and grinding, bumping and grinding.
That's what I want.
And
It's a very sexual thing.
it's a
right?
very sexual thing.
Yeah.
And I think that was very impressionable on me. So, and I think that's why I like Latin dancing so much. It's like a very like sensual.
It's very sexy.
Like there's like there's a lot of chemistry there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's
Mhm.
like very much so like a relationship in a way. You're like watching a relationship.
Sometimes you just want to throw her through the air, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like it's very like, and when I see this other dancing where just someone like doing it by themselves and they're just like or like even the head bobbing. Don't get me wrong, when I'm in a bar and there's good music, I'm doing the same shit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like I understand I'm a hypocrite, but I don't know. It's just like when I see other people, when I watch dancing like that, it's just kind of cringy to me.
Mm.
I don't get it. I don't know.
Are you done with your tangent?
Something fucked me up in my childhood. Now I'm done.
See, there's a thing about musical
way.
theater that I love, especially Broadway, because there's a lot of money that goes into Broadway, right? And a lot of these
Mhm.
people are very good at what they do. And what about the thing about me is like I love seeing someone hone their craft, whether it's
Mm.
athletes, actors, musicians, whatever it may be. When I can see someone has put in the time and effort and they fucking just they like making me like step back and say, "Wow, that was amazing." Like that's what Hamilton did for me. Like Hamilton was something that Lin-Manuel Miranda just like basically came up with and like designed a lot of the music and directed the show. And it's amazing. It's won like multiple Tony Awards, right? These people hone their craft to learn the choreography, learn their lines, and not stumble along the way. I'm sure they did at certain points, but it's a great show. And I love musical theater for that, because you have to do multiple things at once and remember everything.
Yeah, you got to be like a triple threat, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The dancing,
yeah,
the acting, the singing.
Yeah, and that's what I love about it, because it's not just an actor, like in front of a camera and it's like cut, do it again. You know what I mean? It's like you're there, you have to do it perfect, because that's your role. That's what I love about musical theater.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like people who are very passionate about what they do. I might have mentioned this before. I don't really remember, but I had stumbled across the AVN Awards one time.
AVN Awards?
Yeah. And
Here we go.
It's a whole other craft to hone.
Yeah. but to me, like porn's porn, right? Like it's like sex. You don't really
Oh, we're talking about porn?
Yeah, that's what the AVN Awards are. It's like they award like
Tell the
best-
fucking people what it is, dude. I mean, you just said AVN
my
like these
bad.
people know it.
Oh, my bad. The AVN Awards is
Like
an
they're all
award show.
sickos like us.
It's an award show that they like gratify, and they
What does this stand for?
adult video something, I think. But it's just like the Grammys, but for for porn, right? But like I don't know, you look at porn, you don't really think that much goes into it, right? Like you just like, okay, these people are just having sex, right?
Yeah.
But like no, they're
They're stunt double.
like they're just very passionate about what they do, and it made me see like another side of it. Like these people actually care, right? Like
I had that same moment too.
Adult video news.
News. Oh, okay.
Weird. But yeah, known as
Brett-
the Oscars of porn.
Brett Weinstein, he's
Harvey?
I think no, Brett.
Oh.
Totally different from Harvey Weinstein. Okay, totally different family. I think he is a mathematician. Yeah, he's a mathematician. His brother is he was a professor in biology. Very smart dudes.
He's
But
regular?
he
God,
Jesus,
that was way louder than I thought it
Yeah.
was going to be.
Jesus.
Sorry to our listeners.
He invited what's that chick's name? The one everyone makes fun of because she has hairy arms. She's a porn star.
Because of hairy arms.
Oh God.
That's fucked
famous?
up. What's wrong with hairy arms?
Famous?
Yes.
She
was-
Lana Rhodes.
What ethnicity?
I think she's white.
Lana
Oh, and
Rhodes.
she has hairy arms.
Maybe.
Riley Reid.
Riley Reid. There you go. That
Riley
her.
Reid has hairy arms?
I don't know.
Yeah. Apparently, people make fun of her for it.
I feel like she's like one of the.
She's like on the top of the
yeah,
porn
well,
game
no.
right now.
Well, she
right?
was number one for like I think 2019 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't keep up with that.
I barely know porn stars.
Fantasy League porn.
Yeah, I only fucking know of her because of that episode. Because I was just like,
Mm.
what? This dude who's a renowned mathematician invited a porn star on his show? Like, I gotta listen to this. Like, what could they possibly be talking about? And they talk about her career, but not like to the extent, of like telling him about scenes and shit. Like, he actually introduces her as her real name, because her other name is her actress name,
Her
and she
stage
takes
name.
it serious. And she talks about the industry of how a lot of these actors or actresses don't get paid well, or they get screwed over by the industry, and like her way of figuring out how she can get paid and work around state laws and to make sure that she's getting paid. It was an interesting episode, dude, and it brought a lot of insight to the struggle that those people go through. I mean, to get fucked and get paid. I mean, you get fucked and get fucked for not getting paid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of ways or like outlets there for you to get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I think Mia Khalifa brought that up on Twitter like last year when she said like she only got paid like $12,000 for all the work that she did.
I don't feel. Is it fucked up? I don't feel any sympathy for them.
I mean, I don't think it's fucked up.
Okay.
You don't have to have sympathy for anyone, honestly.
Honestly,
Sure.
I don't know. I honestly don't. I don't know. I don't know if I believe she only made $12,000.
I don't, because the point is that like okay, let's say she only made 12 grand. She's still living a life that she wouldn't have lived otherwise without it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I do sympathize though that yeah, a lot of people will get fucked over just because I feel like the reality is a lot of people who get into porn isn't because it's their passion, right? It's probably limited options, and that's the way for them to make money and get out of whatever situation they're in, you know?
Yeah.
So they're already vulnerable, and that leaves them open to being taken advantage of. But when you're like that, you know, where everyone knows your name, everyone knows your face, like, I don't know, I don't feel sorry for you. Like, no matter what, you got what you wanted. You got fame.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you, you know, and you're obviously like with Mia Khalifa, she's leveraging that into what she's doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not gonna like fucking start a GoFundMe for you. I don't give no.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll get back to In the Heights in a moment.
Yeah, I was just saying.
After we're done with this porn talk.
It all ties in, you know, kind of.
Oh yeah, but I think the movie did a great job too of depicting New York. You know, of how one, well, we talked about the struggles. Two, the sense of community. And also, three, the amount of, you know, immigrants there are in New York City, because New York City was a main hub for immigrants, not just Latin people, but Irish, Italian,
all immigrants,
Portuguese. Like, yeah, I mean, it was a hub for immigrants, and I think that's what I also love about that movie. Even though it was centered around Latin community, like, it really depicted what it's like in New York for immigrants, you know, and for the people that struggled coming here in America, coming to New York. And I love that.
Yeah, that's like what America is, right? I feel like, yeah, that makes sense. That, I don't know, I feel like I hear a lot of what's in New York is that there's a lot of certain places for certain races, you know what I mean? Yeah, like
certain
Dominicans,
blocks,
or like you have people that are from Jamaica, or like, you know what I mean?
Puerto Ricans, the Cubans,
And like that's America, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what America is, that, or what America is made up of. It's just all these immigrants, you know, coming here for, you know, for opportunity or to have a better life, or to escape their country, you know, from being prosecuted or, you know, just anything anything worse than that.
I think that was a cool thing too, though. I like how they acknowledged and they did a nod to like all the different Latin cultures. You know, it wasn't just focused on one thing. And I know that's something that's been very like present in the Latin community these last few years. It's just like, no, just because you speak Spanish doesn't mean you're from Mexico. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's especially like on this side of the country. That's what everyone assumes. But it's like, no, there's differences. There's differences between all the different cultures. You know, we're not all the same thing.
Yeah. It was cool hearing like the different I guess like enunciations of like the Spanish words.
Oh, like,
you know,
the different
like
accents.
Isabel, you know, or like, you know, it was really cool to hear like the accents from like the DR or like people from like Cuba, like, because it's different. It's a different way to say things, and it's like, oh shit.
No offense, but like,
dang, you hate Cubans?
No. I definitely don't hate Cubans. I love my Cubanos. Come on. Puerto Ricans though. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh yeah, they're shit. No, I was kidding.
I'm joking. That's funny.
Were you,
were you gonna say
I
something?
thought you gonna complete a thought.
Yeah.
Was I?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't remember. Was I?
Wasn't he?
Yeah, didn't you say something like no offense or something like
that?
This guy. Fucking goldfish over here.
Sorry. Dude, this week zapped me, man. Like, I'm just like mentally. No offense, but like I'll always. I feel like I have the best Puerto Rican impersonation. Someone who isn't Puerto Rican. And I'm not gonna do it.
No. You can't do that. Come on.
No. But it's funny, like, because a lot of people, they'll just hear Spanish, and like they'll think it's all Spanish is Spanish. But it's like, no, man, no. You could tell, like, someone's Puerto Rican. It's so obvious they're Puerto Rican. You know how they say shit, and it's just kind of funny to me. I don't know. It's just like. Obviously, I didn't grow up hearing that, so like to me, it just kind of sounds like they're like holding a ball in their mouth when they're talking.
Oh, what do you
no
mean?
offense.
What do you mean? Come on.
No offense. I'm not gonna do that.
Come on.
No.
I understand.
Nothing against Puerto Rico, you know. So.
Yeah, they're very like expressive too.
It's just like very poppy.
Yeah.
Their sound is. And I didn't mean that pun.
Poppy.
And poppy, like pop-y, not poppy. Not don't
This
call me your
fucking
pop.
guy.
I'm not your poppy.
Yeah.
This fucking guy. Very
Okay, puppy, I'm
poppy.
sorry.
I know. It's just like island culture is just very different. Like a lot of those Caribbean island cultures, they have a lot of differences versus like the mainland Latin cultures. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that kind of upset me about the movie was I think her name was Nina.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. She was just like
Was she the one that went to
complaining-
college?
Yeah.
Mm.
She's like, I dropped down dead. There's no sense of community in college, and like, bitch, your dad's paying for Stanford for you, and you're
Yeah.
fucking complaining. I'm like, you know how many people would want to be in your position? I mean, I get it, whatever. You validated.
I
but-
think-
Oh, go ahead.
It's-
I feel like that's like part of like that was just to push the story along.
Yeah.
But like dude, every college, especially nowadays, is gonna have clubs for that. They're gonna have like
Yeah.
groups of people that organize for that. You know.
Yeah.
We got to remember too, though, that this original story was
It's
written
older,
years
yeah.
ago,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
And the other thing too is I think that was a great thing that they did, because there is a lot of pressure that is put on newer Latin generations because of the
They're the
their-
ones expected to
exactly
bring the family.
they're
up,
expected to do better than their parents, get an education, also take care of the family,
Yeah.
also go to college, get a career, while also doing all these other things. There's a
Yeah.
big pressure that's on those.
That was
those
definitely
generations.
spot on. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
I
how she
think-
said too, like, no,
I-
this is for you, not for me. type of thing.
Exactly. So I think having her storyline and her being like that, I think
Yeah.
it was a good point to add, because yeah, it's real life. I mean, there's some people in those families that she's like, dude, why is everything put on me?
Yeah.
Where
you know?
did she end up at the end?
Well, because
But-
she wants to come back to better
No,
her
I know,
community.
I know. But that's my thing. Like, obviously you have to figure that out.
You got to do it for yourself, not
Yeah,
for someone else.
but you
But
know, it's
yeah, and just to go, like, there's like literally, I was part of a club that was for engineers who were Hispanic. You know what I mean? Like, how more specific do you need to get from that? You know, like. So
Give us your accent.
definitely, like, you need to find that community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like Stanford, like, it's not like she's in like
You're-
again, this is just nitpicking. This is being very nitpicky. Like this is pretty much like stupid opinions at this point. But it's not like you're up in like fucking where, like, Idaho.
Yeah, you're in California.
You're in California. Yeah, you're in California in the Bay Area. Like there's plenty of Latin cultures in the Bay Area. Idaho, like, how many Mexicans or Latins are in Idaho? I don't fucking know.
Probably count
not
them on one
many.
hand.
Yeah.
when I went,
You went to Idaho?
didn't see any. Yeah, I went to Idaho.
Let me tell you, man. When I went to Ireland, I'm pretty damn sure that like me and two other people that was part of the high school trip were the only Hispanics in that whole goddamn country.
They were looking at you like you were rare. Like,
Well, it's just, dude, like, what's that?
come here, laddie.
I'm pretty sure there was not a tortilla in the country. You know, let me put it that way. Like, you cannot find it. So when you're comparing something like that to California, it's like, oh, bro, you're chilling.
Yeah. Dang, were all the girls all over you guys?
Yes, but
Wait,
not.
how old were you?
I was 15,
Oh, okay.
but it wasn't because of like
Hispanic.
we
being
were
American.
Latin or American. It was just because of the accent. Because we had like a.
Mm.
That's what's funny. Like, just how like here people like kind of like, oh my god, English accents or Irish accents. Over there they're like, oh my god, I love American accents.
If you know, yeah, if they know you're American, oh man,
It's just weird.
game
that-
over.
But I would like to
This-
say after that trip, I understand why the Irish drink so much.
Why?
It's a shithole.
No
offense.
No. Beautiful country. Beautiful country. The women though.
Oh. I see.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
They're just not my type. I'll just put it. That. They're not my
Since
type.
we're on the topic of women, this movie, I know I said it earlier,
Oh,
did
yeah.
a great job
Beautiful
of
women.
making all the women just beautiful.
Mm.
All the women are beautiful in this movie.
Yeah, Usnavi's
His girl
Vanessa.
Yeah, she was gorgeous.
Her nipples were out the whole movie.
Her or I don't remember her real name, but she plays Rosa in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I don't know. I find her really attractive.
Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
She's in the movie?
Yeah, she's in the movie. She was one of the like nail salon girls. I
Mm.
mean,
Was
Was
the
she-
older chick that owned the nail salon, is that her mom?
I think so, because there was a line where she talked about her. She like referenced her as her mom, so I'm assuming so.
That other girl.
Oh, is she referencing her? I can't tell.
I think she was.
I'm confused.
The other girl was from Orange is the New Black, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stephanie Beatriz.
Was
This
it?
girl?
Oh. Oh, okay. I didn't recognize
She's in
her.
Brooklyn
Yeah.
Nine-Nine.
She's like kind of like the monotone one, right?
In Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah.
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 Can you look up the actress that played
Vanessa?
Yeah,
you-
yeah, do that too, though.
For research purposes?
the older lady, the one that passes away.
Oh, okay.
Abuela.
Abuela Claudia.
Abuela.
Because her role was, I think, perfect. I think she did a great job, and her song, you know, I think was amazing.
At the end.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Olga Meredith.
How old is she? Because that woman, I'm guessing
She was
is
born in 1956.
an angel.
And did she really die?
So, no, she
Oh,
didn't
no.
really die. So
Right
she's
there on the
65,
Spoilers.
and she's Cubana from Cuba.
Oh, perfect. She was cast perfect for the role. Because in the movie, I think she's Cuban.
Hmm.
Came from Cuba.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
overall, it was a good movie.
What else
It's
was
funny.
she
It's
in?
funny that you mentioned it, or you wanted to do the episode on it, because before that, when I was saying that I came into
Oh, I was
the
gonna
house,
say. Go ahead.
like a little bit under the influence.
Uh-huh.
You were pretty splonky.
Yeah, and I
I'm
was-
fine.
I sat on the couch. I turned the TV on, and then it just like popped up, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" But I didn't know it was a musical, or
Uh-huh.
yeah, I guess a musical. And then it was the part right before they went to the pool.
Okay. 96,000.
Yeah, so
That was
he
a
was
cool
talking.
scene.
He was talking in his convenience store, and then they started like rapping in the street, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? What the fuck is going on right now?" And I just like fucking, I was just like zoned into it, and then the whole pool scene, and then I was like, "What the fuck is going on right now?" And then I turned it off and I went to bed.
Is
And I-
there one song you guys enjoyed the most out of it?
Uh, Yeah.
Oh my god. I
Piragua.
couldn't say.
I couldn't stand that scene.
That's Lin-Manuel Miranda.
yeah.
that
Honestly,
guy.
I couldn't stand that scene, but it's catchy.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
pool scene was pretty
love
dope.
I
though.
love
liked how
the
they did that.
song because it's just, you know, it's just how life is. Sometimes you're just scraping by, man, and you're just getting by.
Yeah.
See, I think this is what it is about musicals that's hard for me to enjoy too, is that like that song was just like, okay, what the fuck is that song about? And then like there's a lot of parts that just don't add anything to the story. Like that whole scene, what did it add to the story?
Yeah. Who was he?
Like you could cut that whole scene out and
the
like
story would be
it wouldn't
fine.
have affected the plot at all. And that's common though. That's common in like
Mhm.
musicals. There's a lot of like detours that just kind of happen. It's just weird to me.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. Best song in the movie. Piragua. Piragua. That's when I came walking through that door.
I'm just glad he was in the movie because he did great in Hamilton.
Mhm.
And even the guy that played Usnavi, which I have to say is the one thing that bothered me the most was his fucking name.
That was the name in the original Broadway. Like that was the
Really?
character's name. Yeah.
Shit.
It wasn't even like they changed it for the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was funny. That was a little
Because the
funny
first
in the
time
movie.
I heard like that joke was
Carlos Mencia.
no, it was Felipe
Oh.
Esparza.
Oh.
That's the first time I heard that joke.
I know Carlos Mencia made a joke about it a long time ago too.
Carlos Mencia also has a history of stealing jokes from comedians.
Yeah.
So he was joking
Yeah.
about the Broadway, or he was joking? Felipe Esparza?
Felipe Esparza, he had a joke where immigrants were coming,
And
I
make
think from Cuba,
Weird names.
and they were drowning, and the guy was drowning, and he said, that a ship named Usnavi saved him. And then he was like, Usnavi? What the hell? He's like, oh, U.S. Navy. And it's literally like how it is in the movie.
Yeah.
And that, when I watch it, I'm like, oh, ticks me off so much.
Maybe he got that from the Broadway show, like the joke.
Have you seen Felipe Esparza?
I have. Yeah.
That dude does not look like he's in the Broadway. Maybe, though. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
I'm
wouldn't
wrong.
think you were in
But-
Broadway either.
True. But either way, man, when I saw it, I'm like,
Kinda cringe.
doesn't sit well in my mouth.
Yeah.
Nasty.
That was finding that. Yeah, I was like, "What the fuck? What's this guy's name? Usnavi." But then learning
Sounds
about
like it sounds like it'd be a woman's name.
Usnavi. Yeah. I feel like it's.
I feel like it's just a stupid name.
Yeah.
Damn, bro, you're gonna piss off all the people named Snavi.
Dude, if there's people named that,
Oh, I guarantee there has to be
I'm
people
so
named
sorry
that.
for you.
There's people named Statue of Liberty.
Liberty.
There are people named Liberty.
I know there's people named
God.
Liberty.
Disgusting.
But I have to say, the Abuela, her song, and then when she passed away, dude, that scene got me emotional when I watched it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say.
Because I watched it alone, and, I was
Mm.
listening to it loud enough to really catch everything. And, yeah, it got me emotional.
Yeah, that scene didn't, but I feel fucking. I don't know, just musical, and then me feeling emotional, and then saying it on air is like, I don't know, it makes me feel like less of a man. But
Because you're scared to be judged.
yeah, but
I'm surprised y'all still have emotions.
yeah.
What does that mean, huh?
Mine were beat out of me a long time ago.
I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm like discovering mine and not
Yeah, I
afraid
feel like
afraid to admit them. Like,
I
listen,
feel like I'm definitely
Yeah,
able to be more emotional.
I have internalized machismo, so definitely something I'm trying to work on with my therapist.
I mean,
You're machismo, dude.
Huh?
You're machismo.
I was like raised with that culture.
Hmm.
I wasn't allowed to cry. I would just get hit harder.
yeah. I mean, now that I'm older, I don't care, and I think that's one thing about me too is I'm really becoming someone that loves, like, film and movies and acting, and when I'm invested in a movie, like if it's good acting, good storytelling, like you can get me emotional because I'm invested in it. Like I'm not. No longer am I like thinking thoughts while watching a movie and distracting myself from what's going on. I'm like really invested in it.
Dude, my emotional shame is so deep. Like, it's not even like I try not to cry. I try to cry. Like, you could ask Emily. There's been so many times we're watching a sad movie and I'm like, what's gonna happen? It's gonna happen. And then I'm like there, like trying to squeeze like a tear out, and then it just goes away. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I feel that way too. It's definitely hard for me to cry. I do cry, but it's very like far in between.
Same.
But when it does happen, I'm not afraid to do it anymore.
Yeah, see, I get emotional, and like this movie, I shed a tear, and that's it. That's all it got out of me. And that's mostly what films or whatever it may be get out of me is
Like
like
a
a
tear?
single tear. I'm not over here like,
Snot bubbles.
yeah, like how some women are at a romance, it's like,
Yeah.
like a
Right,
fucking
like
hot
rom-coms.
mess, and I got to take a week to find who I am again,
My mom,
Oh, man, I
my
can't
mom,
even do that.
my mom's a crier. She cried. What was it?
Dude, that's the thing. Even my mom's like, my
Not
whole
crying.
family just not emotional. I've seen my mom cry twice, and one of them was when my grandfather passed away.
Yeah,
Only times I've seen her cry.
That's wild. My mom's a crier.
Really? I took her to see the movie Coco, and I thought for sure that would be the one to crack her. I totally thought, and I was just like, because I'd already seen it. I was watching it the second time with her, and I was literally just like,
That's a good
nothing?
Yeah.
And I even asked her, I'm like, you didn't like get emotional? She's like, oh yeah, it was super sad. I'm like, you didn't cry though. She's like, oh well, no.
Yeah, I'm not a bitch.
Oh, damn,
That's
mom.
See, I don't get that movie when people
Coco
said
almost got me.
I don't know
was-
how
me too. Coco
how that
was-
movie gets people because
Really?
I watched it. I'm like,
Oh, really? There's
I think
good
it's
things,
just
man.
like,
Coco changed my life, dude.
I think it's just like,
that movie Soul changed my life.
Soul too.
I haven't seen that yet. I think
Oh,
what got me about
bro.
Coco is just like, there was a lot in that movie that I was able to connect with. In the Heights is cool, but again, there's definitely a difference in culture. So there's some aspects I just didn't connect with. You know,
Mhm.
that's just not my culture. Whereas like Coco, there's a lot that I did, and like I think like having a grandparent that like passed away and just like a lot of like personal stuff. You know what I mean? That
Yeah,
one
just relating to it.
almost got a tear out. Yeah.
So recently, it's weird because with me, I feel like it's very, excuse me, it's very random when I start to get emotional in like movies or TV shows. But recently, I was watching a show called Mr. In Between. You guys should watch it.
What a great name.
Mr. Dude,
I love
it's
that.
fucking good movie. I mean, show. Damn it, I don't want to say the scene because I don't want to spoil it now.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You sure?
I'm not good with
You
shows,
should
dude.
just watch it, dude. But just watch it. So there's a scene. He's
Sure.
The main character is like he's a very fucking.
In between?
He's yeah. Well, he gets in between a lot. That's why it's called that. But
Some butt cheeks?
he's like a hit. He ends up becoming a hitman. But
No? All right. Well, fuck you guys. I thought that was a good one,
What'd
huh?
you say?
I smiled.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you.
I said in between some butt
But
cheeks.
he's like a very like callous
I
guy.
said it again. There's nothing out of you.
Oh, I was fucking explaining my fucking
Jesus
shit.
Christ, never
goddamn
mind.
it.
I'm done.
Let's hear it, Andy.
Go ahead.
He's just a very callous dude, you know. Like he's been through a lot of shit, and
Mhm.
like he's just like, nah, I'm not like.
Been through a lot of shit.
Yeah, like he just doesn't like show emotion or he just doesn't
Mm.
cry. You know what I mean? He's just a very hard dude.
He's in a scat play. See, he laughed at my joke, not yours.
Okay. Well, I didn't hear him. I didn't hear him twice, but anyways.
Okay, go Andy.
Are we married? Is that what it is? And you just like learn to shut me off?
What?
Exactly. Exactly.
Point proven.
But so there's in the second season. So he has a brother, and I'm not sure what disease he has, but it's either.
You know what? I'm so uninvested that I'm gonna go take a piss.
Damn! Wow.
Dang.
Jeez.
Trouble in paradise, huh?
It's fine.
I've been holding this piss for like 30 minutes. Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
No, I'll wait till you come back. It's cool. No, you're good.
No,
Yeah.
you want to laugh at his shit? Go ahead.
No, that's good. It's okay. No, I'll wait
Damn,
for
bro,
you.
I just been causing all kinds of fights with couples lately.
Dude, wives. Telling you.
Yeah. Stay single, fellas.
She could never be happy. He doesn't listen to me.
This is why I'm gay, dude.
It
It's like much easier.
doesn't listen to me. It doesn't give me attention. Yeah, bitch, you're fucking annoying. Jesus Christ. When you say shit like that, it makes me want to listen to you more.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
Are you mad at me? No. It feels like you're mad at me. Well, now I am.
Yeah, like you want to keep asking that?
Yeah.
You want to keep pushing my buttons?
You're
I
making
just
me
got home
mad.
from work after a 10-hour shift. I need a fucking beer first before I can come and talk to you.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, yeah. You didn't work all goddamn day.
Man.
What are you doing, huh?
Our grandparents were so lucky they could get away with that shit. We can't do that anymore. I can't come home and demand a meal.
Yeah.
And then I'm the asshole.
That's why a lot of grandparents,
I'm
a
joking,
lot
I'm
of grandparents
joking.
hate each other. It's because they.
Oh, yeah. They can't stand each other.
Yeah, Mexican culture is like, nah, you don't divorce, dude. You just
Yeah,
push through it.
You just fucking hate each
Yeah.
other.
You just
Yep.
push through it and don't have sex after like 10 years.
Oh,
and-
Jesus Christ. Just kill me.
But your wife will still make you a meal every now and then.
Yeah. Yep. She'll still do your laundry.
Yeah. Because it's the duty she has to fill. And that's all she became. Just a wife.
This is why I am definitely a feminist. Because I want a woman who's going to handle her own shit.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to take care of anybody. I'm
Yeah.
not your daddy.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. I'll take care of myself.
Yeah.
Help each other out every now and then.
Oh, welcome back. It's perfect timing.
I threw my temper tantrum. I'm better now.
It's okay, baby. I'll give you the meat stick later.
I don't need more disappointment.
Oh my god. The meat stick.
What now, huh?
More like a grain of rice made of meat.
You can't feel it 'cause you're a big pussy.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Whatever makes you feel better.
Mr. In Between. So are you gonna listen?
Yes.
Thanks, babe. Don't Don't be mad at me, please. Cuddle later.
If you're lucky.
But anyways, so I think there's only 3 seasons to the movie. I mean, God damn it, show. But he has a brother in the show, and he either has cerebral palsy or he has ALS. So he's just like throughout the seasons, he's like slowly degrading.
Damn.
But he asks him, he's like, when I want to go, I want you to help me go. And the main dude's name is Raymond, and he's like, well, when we get there, we'll talk about it. And they had him get in there, and the way he wants to go is, so the show is based in Australia. The way he wants to go is
By Dingo.
by kangaroo punch.
Kangaroo just chokes him out.
Kangaroo chest kick. But
Oh, I can just imagine him holding him there.
but the way he wants to go is in his old house. So the house that they used to live in is abandoned. So they end up going back to that house. It's him and his brother, and they end up having a conversation. They had like a couple beers, and then he has like this syringe filled with, I'm not sure what kind of liquid, but he eventually tells his brother, he's like, oh, okay, like, let's do this. And then his brother just injects him with the thing, and you could just see him like slowly go. And then his brother like just pours gasoline all over the house and lights the house on fire.
Nice.
But like, just because he's like this emotionally like blocked person, he's like looking at the fire and he sheds a tear. But it's like seeing someone like who's so hard, like able to actually like cry, was like something that made me emotional. I was like, fuck, dude, this dude like that. This dude kills people, you know what I mean? Like, he's a hitman, and he like does all this, you know, like horrible things, which don't even faze him, right? But like, you end up finding that he's like still human, right? Like, he still has love for his family and
has a heart.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck, fucking frog in my throat. Like,
Yeah.
So it
Oh, I can imagine that must be a great scene,
dude. Like,
just like seeing the fire in his eyes.
Yeah,
and just knowing that that's his old house.
Yeah, from what I remember, there's like the scene is like up close to his face, and you could just see like the fire, like lighting in his face, and then they show, I think they show the back of him, like the back of his body, and the fire and the house on fire. You know, like it's.
I'm
it's fucking
sure
good,
that's a
man.
great scene.
It's you guys should watch that show though. A little slow in the beginning, but it ends up picking up. There's a lot of good acting in it.
Mr. In Between.
So like shit, like this just catches me off guard when I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm about to cry right now. God damn. Excuse me. But yeah, like good cinema, like good scenes and like good acting is like, you know.
Yeah,
Very
and I'm
emotional.
sorry I hit you guys with this, but I mean, I literally have been thinking all week, like, what are we gonna talk about? And I couldn't think of a single thing, you know. And I was like, fuck it. I mean, we haven't done a movie review in a while.
That's fine.
I think I'm actually kind of glad because I wouldn't have seen this otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too when I was looking at it. I was like, man, this is like exposing me to something that I
Wouldn't watch.
care about.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Yeah, I mean, it did expose me, but it's probably going to be the only exposure in my life.
God damn it! I was gonna say,
Unless-
the next goal is to get you guys to watch Hamilton.
I think I'm more open now to watch Hamilton after this one because even Jalen was saying like, because I was talking about it how we were going to watch this for the podcast, and he was like, "Oh, you haven't seen Hamilton?" I'm like, "No." He's like, he was even saying Hamilton's really good,
Yeah.
and even then I'm like, eh. But honestly, after watching this, I'm like, okay, there's some bearable ones.
Yeah.
And I've only heard good things about Hamilton. So.
Yeah, Hamilton is more of like the singing and talking type, but there's more of it. But there is moments where they just talk. But Hamilton is like the first show that I've seen that, like, literally I'll watch it or listen to the album, and then the next day I have a certain song stuck in my head, and then I think about another scene. I'm like, oh, dude, that was a great scene too, and I'll go listen to that. And I that's like, I literally went through every song like that.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Where it's just like, oh yeah, that was great too. And I listened to it. And I just listen to it and I keep listening to it. And it's just like, I've never had that before. Where like, I think the whole thing's amazing by the end of it, you know? And it was just, it's really good, man. And it's surprisingly good.
What is Hamilton about again?
Alexander Hamilton. About how he.
the founding fathers. And
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, what the hell?
Because he was our very first Secretary of Treasury.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Is it like supposed to be kind of historically accurate, or is it just like a musical?
It is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
A lot of shit I didn't know about Alexander Hamilton, and it kind of he shaped a lot of our financial system the way it is now, or like the whole structure of it.
So it's his fault.
In a way. I'm sure he didn't imagine people's greed to get to the point that it was, but he was actually in line to like be a president. But you gotta watch the film to really see.
One thing in the Heights that kind of really stuck with me was when the girl Nina, decided to go back to school and tell her dad, and he was happy for her, and he was telling her that like you can see the world as something I can't see.
You can see a future that I can't.
Yeah,
dude, that line stuck with me.
Yeah, and it reminded me of my job's orientation, because she was saying that when she's at launches and stuff, she sees kids running around, and she knows that they're not really understanding what's going on in front of them, and like the fact that rockets can come back down and land by themselves now. It's like they're seeing this. Like imagine what they think their future is gonna be like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What they're gonna who they're gonna end up being, and like the things that they're gonna end up inventing. And it was cool to see. It was like cool to hear that perspective, because I had never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
You know, because like people in like when the fucking NASA space shuttle was going off, I'm sure they were like, "What the fuck?"
Well, that was like a nationwide thing.
Yeah.
I remember hearing stories of like elementary students, like their teacher wheeling in the TV to watch it happen.
Yeah.
Like that must have been so fucking cool. Like when SpaceX did that, dude, I was like blown away. I'm like, finally, America's getting back into space. You know, like we've gone to space, but we paid China or Russia to do it. But finally, we're launching our own astronauts. Like, we're finally taking a step towards the right path again, you know? And I just got so excited. And I'm surprised that it wasn't like a bigger thing, like social media wise, you know? And I was pissed that it wasn't, but, oh man, it's so cool.
Yeah. I think the people in that, community, like that whole engineering.
It was,
science
it was a
field,
large
were
thing.
Very excited about it. But yeah, it that was cool to hear.
Yeah.
It made me feel optimistic, 'cause I feel like that's how you get, people that change things in the world. You pique their interest at an early age, and they're able to see shit like this, or the parents that take them there. Parents that know that this is important.
It's very influential.
Yeah. So, but like, just imagining back then when they were showing the space shuttle, if they were showing like what they were showing now back then, or like if that technology was around back then, like how fucking crazy would people's minds fucking explode, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was I did like that quote in that movie.
Yeah. And the cool thing about that quote too is like that's what you want your children to do, right? Eventually, is like for them to dream bigger than you, or expect things greater than you, and have goals that are larger than themselves, right?
Yeah, but we need people that are willing to do that. Like parents that are willing to sacrifice a lot just to give their kids like these opportunities and stuff. Because like that fucking dad sold his business, and kind of fund her schooling, which was very selfless, and he had that business for a while, right?
Yeah.
Since they got to the States.
So it was like, it was just for a better purpose, better cause, So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Pretty cool depiction.
Yeah. There was something I was gonna say, but I fucking forgot. Give me a second.
One. You're up.
Brain blast.
Got a blast.
Shit! What was I gonna say, man?
Depiction. Appearance.
Stop. I don't work. I don't work like that. Okay.
Okay. You don't work at all, apparently.
I'm not fucking come on command. Okay. Oh, god damn it. It's going to irk me that I don't remember what I was going
It
to
was
say.
about- Okay.
Going back to that quote too, but I feel like that's another thing we need from adults or from parents is to say those kinds of things to your kids. Let them know they're on the right path, or let them know you're proud of them. Let them know that you love them. Like, I'm sure the love thing, like, that happens often. But, like, there's a lot of, like, tough conversations that parents aren't willing to make. You know what I mean? Like, for me personally, I could give you, like, probably 2 times my dad said he's proud of me. 2. That's it. I can count the amount of times my dad's hugged me. Probably like 3. You know? So, I mean, it's one of those things, like, we as a younger generation have to change that, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's not the human, what's the word? I mean, that it's just a lack of who we are as a people. You know, I mean, that's not why we survived as a society, is not showing that we care about one another, you know, and not letting people know that they're doing the right thing, you know.
Yeah, I think I understand that. It's hard for me to do that. Like, say these, you know,
To be emotional
yeah,
and vulnerable.
It's hard for me to say emotional things to people. And I think it's because of my childhood as well. It's just, it wasn't really, like, my mom, she was always there and told me that she loved me and whatever. But my dad it was never like that. I knew he cared. I knew he loved me, but it was never very expressive. You know what I mean? Which is, it's okay. But because I'd never really got that, I don't think that I do it now because of that. So I agree. Yeah, I feel like people should. It's just like, I don't know. It's like awkward for me, super awkward for me to be
cringe.
like, oh, dude, I love you. Like, yeah, like, I care about you. I want, you know. It's like, you know, that's why like being like, you know, being kind of a little fucking tipsy is like, it just comes out easier.
Yeah, honestly, it's like
just,
a lot of repressed
yeah,
emotions.
You know, so
I feel you on that one.
But
I love seeing how much you guys struggle with this idea.
It's hard, man.
Because I'm so
It's
glad
hard.
that I worked past this.
It's hard.
I know it's hard. That's why I love seeing
Shit's
you
deeply
struggle.
ingrained in me, man.
And I
Yeah.
hope, like, I push you guys towards that edge of just being okay with it.
But I think that might have something to do with, like, what I was talking about earlier, just about being touched. You know, like,
Inappropriately? When did
Oh,
did
no,
you
no.
say that?
Like when we were in the Carl's Jr. line about the girl.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Tell the story.
No, I don't want to tell it. You guys know what it is, but it's just, you know what I mean. It's just like, I don't, you know.
How dare you show me affection?
I don't want that. I don't want that. So
I think the funny part is, like, when you're, I'm not gonna tell the story, but when you were starting it, you're like, dude, like, yeah, something weird happened.
And then
And
you
I'm like, oh, what? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, did it? She say I love you, like,
Yeah,
something weird like that. And
yeah.
then he told me, and I'm like, where's the weird part?
what do you mean? I just said it. You know, but yeah, that I'm sure that stems back to, like, that in some way. But I'm learning. You know, I'm trying to like be, you know, a little more expressive, a little more emotional. And I think even at the beginning of this podcast, I've been trying to, you know, I made that.
yeah.
I've been vocal about that.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I've gotten better. You know, still got improving to do, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, it takes time.
Hell yeah, brother.
Takes time. So, yeah. Parents tell your kids you love them.
Yeah, tell them you're proud of them.
Yeah.
Give 'em a little hug.
Oh, that's what I was
little
gonna say
kiss.
too. So with the job that I got, my dad always had, like, ingrained, like, working hard, like getting a job, working hard at the job, you know, climbing the ranks and becoming something of yourself. And I think, like, with the notoriety of my job, he was, like, really proud of me and, like, telling people, like, oh, like, you know, my son
Yeah.
works here. And, like, dude, that made me feel, like, so good, man. I was like, fuck, man.
Yeah, I
it's
know
not
what
that
you
he
mean.
wasn't proud of me before. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I just felt like now that he's
Like hearing it or like hear
It-
other people say
yeah.
that he's talking about you.
Yeah, it was like, dude, like, like it made me like just like a little bit emotional.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So,
I feel that.
and it made me happy, because I think
There's
that's all.
there's a sense of pride behind
Yeah,
that.
because I think that's all. Because that's what my dad did when he came here, right? He's like, he started off here, and now he's here at a company, right, that he wanted to be in. And I think that's really all he wanted for me was just to not waste my time, on the sense of like being 40 and then like I haven't really, you know what I mean, done anything with the time that I've been here. He just wanted me to like, like whatever you're passionate about, like choose it, do it. Like if you have to start from the bottom, like so what? Like just work your ass off, work hard, like climb the ranks, and like be what you want to be. So yeah, he's been doing that with like friends from work or like even my grandparents, telling them, and I was like, yeah, like nice, this feels good, So, yeah, that's just all I want to say.
It's good, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm proud of you, man.
Thanks. I feel like I kind of have like imposter syndrome in terms of like being there. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that are obviously better at what I do, and there's like a lot of,
How much of that is your own self-doubt, though?
It's a lot.
Exactly what it is.
It's
yeah.
a lot.
All those
Yeah.
people could be faking it.
Yeah, I know I'm capable of, moving up and learning and asking questions and, just learning new things. But yeah, it's just like it's hard not to feel that with the people that I'm around.
Yeah, I know
It's like,
exactly what
fuck.
you mean, man.
Like these people are fucking on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's making me better. Just being around those people who are like hardworking and care about what they do. So I am grateful for that. But yeah, every now and then I'm like, fuck, dude, like, should I even be here? So, but yeah.
It'll pass, man.
Yeah.
It shall.
So,
Should we wrap it up here?
Yeah, we could wrap it up.
what is
A
this?
high note
Oh.
to end on.
That's my wallet.
Q.
There ain't much in it, so don't get any ideas.
How much credit you got?
Thank you for joining us here. No,
means a
but
lot.
seriously, thank you for joining in and listening to this episode. I know it got weird very fast, and then it got, I guess, not
Serious,
weird.
real?
Yeah, not weird at a certain moment when we started talking about the movie, even though we kind of skimmed over the movie. Then it got serious very quickly, but that's how it goes here in the Circle Podcast. We freeball it most of the time. We go commando with this shit, okay?
Hang brain, brothers.
King brain.
But remember, only you can prevent forest fires. Don't let the man get you down. And we will see you on the next one.
You are the weak link. Goodbye. Expect everything here at Circle Podcast. That being said, God bless your mother. Mills unite. Sheesh. Good night, America.
Once in, always in. Thank you for joining the circle. Bye.
Goodbye.